All right. It is my turn to be professor.
Hey, Professor McKenna.
What kind of show, Ed?
Guys, I'm so good at accents.
I think I actually have a pretty good British accent when I'm serious about it.
Okay, go for it.
Did I say I wanted to be serious right now? I did not.
Laura, if you move to London, you're gonna have to pick up that accent.
Yeah, all right, go ahead, mate.
Okay.
But I'm obsessed with watching videos of people switching between the different regions, like the different kinds of accents in like the UK. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I think that's so cool.
I just love accents in general. I get a little, whew. Oh, okay.
Yeah, hot and bothered.
Yeah.
They're Queen Charlotte, the Bridgerton prequel
Queen.
kind of thing.
Charlotte. Yes.
10 out of 10 recommend.
Oh, you
And
watched it?
yeah.
Without me?
Sorry. Mal, Laura and I are trying to get into Succession.
Oh, okay. I can help.
Oh, can you
Also,
help
Ryan's
us,
being
please?
like so loud right now. So
I don't hear a single peep.
Well, because she's been muting.
Oh.
he just has like no respect for the podcast. So yeah, awkward. No, what about Succession? You can't get into it.
We've only watched one episode, so.
Oh, okay. Watch a few. Yeah,
Okay.
I will say a few things. You never like any of the characters, so that has made it hard for me. But I'm very glad I watched it.
Okay, that's a pretty high review from you.
Yeah, like it was not a waste of time. I very much enjoyed it, but is it like the most joyful show to watch on the whole planet? Certainly not.
No, it does not feel very fun and flirty.
It is not fun or flirty.
It doesn't even feel like hot and sexy, you know.
It is not hot or sexy.
You're really selling me on continuing the episode too.
What's the point?
It is corporate and funny.
Is it like haha funny or like?
No, there's some haha funny moments. Like some of the things that Ryan and I laugh about the most are from Succession.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, to circle back to
For you,
Queen
you'll get
Charlotte,
that
though.
eventually. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll understand one day. But Queen Charlotte, there was one of the actresses, and I don't remember her name because, of course, now I just want to watch all the videos of the actors being interviewed, right? One of the actresses, she faked a British accent for 4 years in college.
Like for serious? She was like lying?
Yeah.
Wow. Actors be like that though. Keep your eye on them.
That's
but she was like
wild.
she was like a biomedical engineering student as well. Like she's a smart girly. It wasn't like she was like doing it to be like,
in theater class,
in theater class, not to, be rude to theater people.
No, but like that would make sense if you faked an accent just in your theater class for 4 years, you know?
Yeah, right.
Not normal, but that would be like.
And this did come from her mouth directly. This wasn't even a rumor. She openly admitted it in an interview.
Yeah. And what I mean by watch actors is sometimes it feels, and again, not a sweeping statement, but it's kind of like, why are not more eyes looking at me? So then you might think like, oh, I'll fake an accent.
Yeah.
What if I came out right now?
Oh, congratulations, Laura. That's awesome.
Thank you. What if I came out right now?
That's awesome.
Period. But what if I came out right now as like someone who's been faking an English accent my whole life? Or not like an American accent.
Okay.
That would be a curveball.
I don't know what I would say. Yeah, no.
Mallory would not like that.
No, I don't like surprises, and that would be a big surprise.
Yeah.
Welcome to
rest
Fuck Wellness.
easy.
Guys, we haven't even introduced ourselves.
Hey, welcome.
Hey.
I feel like our intros are getting worse and worse.
That's all right. We're on year 3, baby.
Yeah.
We get to do whatever we want.
We love you. Yeah.
We do what we want.
Yeah. All right. Can I just dive in?
Yeah, please.
All right. I have prepared some guesses for you. And I mean, hint. Hint.
I was like, sure, yeah, you can guess for us. That's
I
fine.
also would like to just say that out of both of your presentations, mine has the least amount of research and the most amount of personal story. So
And
take it
sometimes
as
those are the
McKenna-
best.
McKenna, that's why we love you. So
yeah,
keep-
then out with the facts and with the feelings.
yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, should get a tattoo of that.
yeah, I know. I'm bullied about it all the time, but okay. My topic. First hint, and I'll follow up with the second one if we can't get it off the first. It's actually kind of like hee funny, and you'll see later why. First hint. It has to do with a time of day, and is my favorite time of day.
The morning.
Mhm.
Hoops.
Yeah.
Not boops.
That'd be such a good topic.
That would be a good topic,
Yeah,
especially for me.
Especially for you.
I know.
Especially for me.
Literally, I go morning poop McKenna.
Yeah.
Or you could honestly
that just rolls off the
connect it-
tongue, you know?
Connect straight McKenna to poop. You don't even
Yeah.
need to morning it.
No, but I
You're
think
right.
of McKenna as a morning pooper.
Yeah, I'm really regular.
Matcha.
No, but good guess. You think a little broader.
Sleep.
No.
Alarms.
No. Once again, open your mind.
Open it up. Okay.
Wait, do we get-
sunlight. The earth.
It has to kind of do with sunlight, but it's like an umbrella. It's not like where you don't have to get so granular with it. Like it's an umbrella.
Okay, do you have another?
Don't get
Do you have another like hint?
Yeah, it has to do with self-care. I cannot believe you haven't gotten it because
Stop, Worth. I'm thinking.
I know. Okay.
Morning
Mhm.
self-care.
Morning. I'm waking up stretching. Beds. No, that's too granular, Laura. Fuck.
Mattress. No.
Sleep, rest, alarms.
Mouth
Douglas.
tape.
Mouth. No, too granular. Dreams. No. Morning. Morning. Self-care morning.
Yep.
Task list.
You're on to something.
Oh, baby. I knew it. Task list. To-do list. Journaling. Journaling.
Say with task list.
mm,
I feel like I'm lost.
productivity
Mallory-
journal.
Mallory
No.
said it before we hit record, and I had to keep a tight lip.
Oh, that's okay.
Mallory literally said it 5 minutes ago.
Mallory, go through what you just said. Say it all again.
Naps.
No. It had to do when we were talking about bridal council and
Your perfect
text
day.
the text that we were going to send out.
Your perfect day.
You're on the right check. It's
Your
not
perfect
that.
breakfast.
No.
Your perfect location.
Whoa, you guys.
What did I say?
I'm literally Mallory.
Think
you're not
about
guessing at
morning.
all.
Think about morning, think about task list, and then think about what we're going to text bridal council.
Morning test.
Can I tell you?
Morning.
Can I tell you?
Yes.
No.
Oh.
No.
This
Give
is
me one more
boring.
minute.
Okay, 1 more minute, okay?
Okay.
It's quite a long time.
Okay, give me a little bit more. I'm thinking
I
morning.
feel like she's
task
giving
list,
us pretty much all that she can give us.
productivity.
Yeah. I think we should take another approach here. What were the things that we wanted to send bridal council? Let's go through those.
We wanted to send bridal council.
Something about items that you would bring. That's number 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then
yes.
we
yes,
talked
packing
about
list.
Then we talked about what?
We talked about itinerary.
Yeah. And
And
then
then
after that. It was
your-
the last example that was stated.
Drink
If
a lot
Mallory
of
was
water.
at full power, I think she would remember.
I'm not at full power.
I know.
Yeah, Mala's shutting down slowly.
Okay.
Lara, come on. Okay, we were talking about itinerary,
What
text,
if I missed
PDF.
this part? Was I?
And
here
then
for
now
this?
combine morning. What's the second part? Morning.
Morning routine.
Yes.
Ah, hell yeah, Laura.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
That
Well,
was. I'm gonna cut most of that out. Okay.
no, that was quality
No.
content.
I'm
Everyone, I
kidding.
got it.
That's all that
Yes.
matters.
I forgot I said that, honestly. Totally
I-
forgot.
My topic is morning routines.
Wow. Okay, let's
Wow.
do it.
Okay, don't get too
Wait, so
excited.
did you like that
You guys
idea
seem
for
really
bridal
excited.
council or?
Yeah, I do like that idea.
Okay,
I think that's a
cool.
good one.
She had to
Okay.
keep her poker face.
Ryan, can I
Yeah.
have a pen?
I'm pretty impressed with myself because I almost giggled. All right. Mal needs to make questions, take notes of questions.
Keep going. I'm just
Mallory, you look beautiful right now.
Yeah. You look like
You kind of look like
In the
Mother
like an
Myth.
eternal beauty. Like
Yeah, you
Mother
kind of look
Nature.
like an
Yeah,
angel right
like
now.
a goddess.
But
Yeah.
like kind of like from the Old Testament times.
No, I am right with you, Laura. I'm right with you.
That's what I was going for. So I'm really glad that you guys saw that in me.
Yeah, whatever shirt
wow.
this is, I am into it.
It's like, is it like a tunic or is that just me inflecting?
No, it's worn wear. It's like the waffle.
It's like long underwear.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. God,
Okay.
that's
from
hot.
Patagonia worn wear.
You look
Of
beautiful.
course.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you.
Wow,
Yeah, well, I
exhaustion
guess I'll-
suits you
Yeah, I guess I'll
really
sit up a
well.
little straighter here.
All right. Are you guys actually excited to hear about morning routines? Because I'm excited.
Yes.
I just don't know where you're going, but yes.
Well, that's why I said it's more personal than it's research.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I'm excited.
Okay.
Please.
So let's start. This is something that when I was thinking about a topic, I wanted to do something that felt important to me. And I had a few other things that were floating around the noggin, but this one felt like the most fun and also, no offense, the least amount of work. So this is what we're going with
Totally
here.
fine.
And also, this is something that has become extremely important to me and something that I really, really love and have committed to basically doing for the past few months. And I think that it is a game changer for my little brain. Mostly because I just feel like a lot of my days were spent and I was feeling like it was Groundhog Day every single day. Like I would wake up and I would do the same thing and I would open my phone. My eyes would open at 6 a.m. and then I'd be working by 6:15 and then I'm like in the chug of the day. And
Mhm.
it felt so monotonous. And I have this really deep fear that my life is just going to be like me in the hamster wheel. And I felt, pause for Ryan.
Ryan, you're getting in the way. What did you say? Oh, yeah.
Did you say?
Wait.
Okay.
So, here.
What's that?
Connor and
Oh,
Dylan.
cute.
Okay.
Anyways, I just have like this really, really deep fear that I don't want my life to pass before my eyes.
Mhm.
And I think that this is one very, very small way that I can get some of the magic of my life back. And as my life has shifted from survival mode and like processing trauma and dealing with a lot of things to more of like a slower pace and a comfortable like way of being, it has turned, I don't know, it's just like one element that I can grab onto that helps me like remain my individual self in the day. And also like allows me to have the space to rediscover who I am. So that's cool. Let's see. So I've talked a lot about on the podcast, mostly in past years, about kind of gentle scheduling and scheduling time to do specific things or to do nothing at all. And it's basically just like these little pockets where you get to, I don't know, where it feels like I give myself permission to do what I want. And my morning routine has become one of these little pillars kind of thing. Actually, I want to rephrase that because it's not as much. Oh, we're going to get into it. I'm getting ahead of myself because it's not about the routine as much as it is the like intention. So obviously everyone knows that morning routines are like an obsession on modern day social media, right? Like everyone films their morning routines or like does ASMR videos. And sometimes they're really nice and fun to watch. And sometimes they're really overwhelming. And it feels like we have to be doing 1,000 things before 6 a.m. and that's stressful, right? Especially if you're not a morning person, because not everyone's a morning person. I personally am a morning person. So yeah, Laura's not really a morning person.
No.
But there's something about like the morning that I made notes about this where it was actually really beautiful the way I was writing about the morning. But it's just like the time that I feel the most alive in the day. And not even with like my brain functioning at its highest potential, which I think is also the morning, but there's just like a newness to it all that feels really like safe to me. And I love the sunrise. Like sunsets are beautiful, but I love the sunrise. And anyways, that's, neither here nor there, but I love the morning.
No, totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like personally, I'm like, I don't know if I'm a morning person because my life has never been like even in college and now,
mhm.
it's like I'm out the door before the sun is up. So maybe if
Right.
I like had a life where I was like, oh, all of that happens at my home,
Mhm.
it might feel different, but
I agree. I think there's time to figure it out, but I think you've also always been able to stay up late, whereas I like physically my
yes,
body is
yeah.
like goodbye.
yeah,
Like
I'm a night owl.
yeah. And so I think that the rhythms are just different. And
Yes.
yeah, you can read the book about sleep if you want more info on that. Okay. So, it's actually really interesting when you start researching morning routines because people are pretty obsessed with them. And there was this article by a person named Jeff Steen, and the title is This Legendary Morning Routine. This legendary morning routine dates back to the 1700s, which was based off of a Washington Post article by someone called Jess McHugh titled Our Obsession with Morning Routines Dates Back to Benjamin Franklin.
Bum,
Oof.
bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum. So it's actually really like all of these articles were really geared towards like either the history, like, okay, here is the morning routine of a pioneer woman. Here is the morning routine of Benjamin Franklin, etc. Or here are the morning routines of all of these like creative people in history, Van Gogh, like all of these things where it's like, I'm not sure that those are the best like case studies because some of them are like, oh, we just painted from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. with no breaks in between, right? Like
He
it's
started his day with a
yeah.
whiskey.
No, literally,
Yeah.
one of them, I forget who they were talking about, but he was like, he started by counting out 18 coffee beans. And I was like, well, that's not super interesting. But I do think the Benjamin Franklin one is because this quote from Benjamin Franklin's diary says that he would, this is how he would start the day. He would rise, he would wash, and he would address powerful goodness, which I think is like really cool. And it basically, the article goes on to discuss it's not really important, or to Benjamin Franklin, it wasn't important what you did necessarily, but just that you woke up and had like an optimistic view of the day and like connected with whatever you're connecting with. So basically everything should be set on mindset, not necessarily the actual acts that you do in the routine, which I really like because I feel like today in modern day, it's like going back to what the article said, it was like the top 10 most successful people do this in their mornings kind of thing. And I think that's pretty toxic because, a lot of it is like kind of irrelevant, right? Like they do things that work for their routines, but it might not work for someone else's routine. And so I prefer the mindset route. And, we hold on. Oh yeah, here's my thought. So we know like the successful people angle is like so largely based on productivity and capitalism and all of that stuff. So I think that there's basically two different things going on here. Three different things. One, the historical kind of jump point of morning routines and just the fascination of people in different periods of history and how they spent their mornings, which I personally find very interesting because history is my favorite subject in school and I really like learning about that. Two, there's like, oh, these are the successful people. What are we gonna like, are we going to copy them so that we too can be rich and successful?
Mhm.
3, this is the social media craze. Wellness comes dumping in here. You have to be doing all of these things. You equally have to have a slow morning and a productive morning and do, check every single box on the list.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of rabbit holes that you can go down here. Any commentary so far?
Is there a rabbit hole that you want us to go down, or is it free range comments?
Free range comments.
Okay, my free range comment is that I think, I mean, and this is super connected to social media, obviously, because otherwise, like, we probably wouldn't be all talking about it. But this thing of like, if you want to become a millionaire, you should probably start waking up at 3 a.m. And
Yeah.
like, I forget what celebrity it was who has this ridiculous morning routine. It might be Mark Wahlberg or something. I can't even, it is. Okay, Jake's telling me it's Mark Wahlberg, who like literally like wakes up at like 2 a.m., prays for like an hour, like does that. I mean, and he's published his morning routine. I think it was like, it's like news to people that we are so fascinated by like, what are these famous wealthy people doing with their morning? Oh, I should now translate and do that in my life. When it's like, no, if I tried to do that, I would be so miserable.
Mhm.
Like my brain works at night. I get to work in the morning and I have to like slap myself in the face to do things. Like that is not my time to shine. And I think it's just so toxic, as you said, to just be like, everyone works the same way. Trust me on this. Set your alarm for 3 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah.
My free range thought.
We love free range here.
First of all,
Mhm.
that reminded me, Laura, of I always found it so annoying when people would say that, like, in order to be successful, you have to make your bed every morning. Because let me tell you, I'm very successful. Do not make my bed most mornings.
Yeah.
But it was always one of those like moral superiority things where people would be like, I have the discipline to make my bed every single day. And that is what shows the grit of like being an entrepreneur. And I was like, I just don't do that. That's just not me. So that was one thing. Because it really is like whatever works best for you. If
Mhm.
making your bed every day is like the restart you need to like get going, awesome. That's not how it is for me.
Mhm.
And then also at Camp Michigania, I went to a faculty lecture on something about making your life better. And I can't remember what it was like specifically called, but we did this worksheet called like energy tracking. And you like marked like when throughout the day you had like a high energy and low energy, and then based your daily activities off of it. And I realized that all of like my favorite routines and things are in the morning, and that I need to like be more mindful of how I use that time. Cause similar to you, Ken, like I feel like that is when my brain is most like, we're here, we got you. Like,
Mhm.
we're here to play. Whereas as I go in the day, it's less.
And I feel if I miss that window of being present with myself when I'm at like peak consciousness, kind of,
Yeah.
then I feel like I feel lost in a way. Like once I get to the afternoon and the evening, my brain is so checked out. Like I have a really hard time functioning, and I don't know. So I feel like sometimes upset sometimes when I do things at late at night, even though they're so fun, because then I feel like I miss my window the
No,
next morning.
totally.
And then I have to feel like I have to wait till the next day to feel like alive, kind of. It's just a little dark,
No,
but
I feel the exact same way.
yeah. But yeah, on going back to like social media, it's so hard sometimes to watch those because it's like you must work out and you must drink warm lemon water, but to make it the best for digestion, it can't be too hot and it can't be too cold. And I don't
Your
know, you
green
need to like
smoothie.
get sunshine, you need to have a smoothie, you need to dry brush, you need
Meditate.
to, yeah,
Ice bath,
ice bath,
full
bone broth,
facial.
Take your
Yes.
dog on a walk.
yoga, yeah, literally everything under the sun. So I think that it can get overwhelming to watch those videos and be like, oh my God, I have to do all of this. And I don't know. I think it's important to say, one, you can do whatever you want, because going back to Mr. Ben Franklin, he taught us that it's It's about connecting with goodness. So
Mm.
that's what we're trying to do in the morning.
But also,
And-
can I make a point?
Yes.
I think you can also connect with goodness at night.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I do. I don't really do morning mindfulness. I think I really, before I go to bed, I tap into that stuff.
For sure. And I'm going to talk a little bit about evening mindfulness.
I connect with
Perfect.
badness at night.
Yeah, you're bad, Mel.
No, I just get scared at night.
Oh, man. Okay. So I actually felt a little bit conflicted if I was going to do this next part, but I decided that I was going to do the next part because I think that I would like to share it. So I'm going to share some of my morning routines and we're going to talk about the history of them.
TikTok
Because-
star McKenna.
Yep. No, but in this way
Yeah.
of like, this is what I'm currently doing. And in 1 month, it could be entirely different. And that would be fine, right? Like I have a limited amount of time to have this time with myself. And if I will say before I even say any of this stuff, my morning routine is out the door if I don't get 8 hours of sleep. So like if I have to, I won't wake up extra early to make sure I have this time. I just try and plan it so that I do have the time. But my first and only priority is usually sleep. So that's that. I'm an 8 to 9 hour a night girl.
Me too.
I
So
wish.
let's talk about this. So where am I at?
So you're in bed.
Hold on, I'm not there yet.
McKenna's sleepy
McKenna's
snuggle with
sleeping in her
Douglas.
bed.
Yes.
Like an angel.
And I also think that if you don't have time for a morning routine, like if I had to be up late and so I woke up a little bit later, I still try and do like 5 minutes where I'm not like immediately jumping into something
Right. On your phone or like
on
at
my
your
phone.
desk.
And that's like the biggest thing, the phone. So
Mhm.
I'm going to tell you the things that I'm into recently and we're going to talk a little bit about them. And I think to Laura's point, my evening routines need some work. We need to show some love to my evening self because sometimes I feel like I'm going and then I'm in bed. Like there's no like progression. Wind down. I think I used to do a lot better with my wind down, but recently I have not been doing so well with that and I think it impacts my sleep. It impacts all the important things.
Oh, super.
What?
No, I'm just like you're very calming.
Me? Oh, so you're
Yeah.
falling asleep
Yeah.
during my presentation. I think you're
We're
just
talking a
tired.
lot about sleep, and I feel
I know.
like
I'm really
Aw.
almost done. This is going to be a
No,
quickie.
No, you're good.
Okay. So we're going to rattle them off here. Number 1, I try not to look at my phone for the first hour
No,
of the day.
I want like a story. Like
Yeah.
I want you're in bed and
Okay. All right,
Describe
here we
it to
go.
me, please.
yeah.
Okay.
Describe it
so
like we don't know.
I'm in bed and I wake up with an alarm that's a sun alarm.
Ugh, gorgeous.
And it really helps me wake up.
What does that mean?
Because it means like I don't wake up to alarm on my phone. I have like a digital alarm. And when my alarm clock goes up, it makes it really bright in my room. Like it slowly goes from a deep red to a really bright light to imitate the sun rising. And that's how I wake up.
Mhm.
And I am a snoozer. I'm not going to lie about that, but I'm trying to snooze less. But normally I like the feeling of knowing that I have 10 minutes to really snuggle up again. You know, like I
Yeah.
think that's the coziest, one of the coziest feelings I could ever imagine. And Douglas is so cozy in the morning. So when he sleeps in his
Snuggly
kennel,
boy.
yeah, I'll wake up like 15 minutes before I have to, and then I'll let him out of his kennel and he'll come up and he gets really close and snuggles with me for like 15-20 minutes and then I get up and he stays asleep. Okay. So then I wake up and I get out of bed. I have been trying to incorporate some of Mallory's neck strengthening exercises before I get out of bed.
Yeah.
I would say once a week I'm able to remember to do that.
Great.
So that's that. And I charge my phone now away from my bed. So I just do my best to not look at it, even though I really want to. I really like looking at my phone, as does everyone, I think. So it's kind of hard for me to keep that separate. But I really, really try and push for 1 hour of not looking at my phone. It usually ends up being 30 minutes. So there we
Longer
go.
than me.
Much longer than me.
I think it really helps my brain not because as soon as I look at my phone, I see my massive to-do list and I immediately get anxious.
Yeah.
And so I feel like having at least a separation where I live in a delusional reality that that doesn't exist is really helpful to me.
Mhm.
Next, I go into the bathroom and I take my retainers out and I give them a little brush with my toothbrush, put
Okay.
them in my thing and put it away. And then my recent routine here has been one, I tongue scrape first. So if you haven't seen tongue scrapers, they are built out of a bunch of different things, but mine is like a metal, like half circle kind of thing that has like plastic grippies on the end, and you brush out your tongue. It's not like a brush; it's a scrape actually.
Mhm.
So it's pretty gross. Like you scrape all the gunk off out of your mouth. But I really like it. A lot of the things that I do are from Ayurvedic medicine, which is like the world's oldest holistic healing systems that was developed. I've seen conflicting reports, but either 3,000 to 5,000 years ago in India. It's a very old ancient system of healing. So that has been around for a very long time. So after I tongue brush, then I oil pull and I have a little mixture of coconut oil and turmeric in the bathroom, and I scoop my finger in and plop some in my mouth, and I basically swish it in my mouth for, I don't know, however long I want to. That is also an Ayurvedic medicine thing. And the important thing about this, though, people don't know this if because oil pulling is getting a little more mainstream. Like I've been doing it for maybe like 6 years now, and it's now getting very popular on TikTok and stuff, and people sell, like, specific, like, oil pulling, like, things that are specifically for that, which I don't think you really need, but if you want to, you can get it. But you cannot spit it in your drain. You don't wanna spit the mixture in your drain, you need to spit it in your garbage can because it's bad to put, like, oil down your drains. No good. Okay. Am I boring you guys?
No.
Not at all.
Okay. So then after I
We
do
could do
that
this for 7 more hours.
Well,
I'm not
okay.
joking.
I don't think I could, but
Honestly, because sometimes I have a hard time sitting with myself in silence doing an activity. I usually bring a book into the bathroom with me while I'm doing this, which is sometimes good, sometimes bad.
doing what?
And doing
Well,
this,
she's
like
doing her morning routine.
doing my morning routine, I sometimes read a book.
Like during what part of it?
All of it.
While she's
Like-
pulling her oil.
Like
Yeah.
while you're tongue scraping your with your other hand.
Well, no, I
you're
usually
reading?
tongue scrape takes 5 seconds and then I
Okay.
plop it in, and then we'll get to the next part where this is where I mostly read.
Okay.
So
Okay.
We've done the tongue scraping.
So far, I'm really confused by the logistics of the reading.
we are currently swishing, can't talk. And then I've washed my face and I put lotion on. And then recently I've been doing a lot of gua sha, which is a traditional Chinese medicine that is from 220 CE. And it's basically the idea that you are bringing sha or redness to the face or body so that it can heal itself. But again, gua sha has gotten very mainstream and very famous. But I think it's important to recognize like these ancient healing traditions because they're a very big deal and they're so wise and they've been, people do them incorrectly and I'm sure I do it incorrectly, but they're very important. So I do that and that's usually when I read. And some of these morning routine things are for like because I want to fit them in my day somehow and morning is the easiest time. Like I don't like oil pulling really, but it's just the easiest time that I can do it. However, like for gua sha, it really helps me with my like neck pain, my jaw pain. Like I don't really do it for aesthetic purposes, which I feel like it's mainly like advertised for. And then recently I've been doing like also some facial massages in certain like pressure points, I think on my face that have been releasing so much tension to the point where it's like I could bring myself to tears in the morning when I do them. So it's become like a very like a way where I can give my body love, I think, in the morning. And usually I do this while I'm reading a little book. So that's that. Um, then typically I go into my room, and this is more like logistical things. Douglas is still sleeping. He's still cuddled
Oh,
up in bed.
sleepy boy.
Yeah. I fill up all the diffusers in my room so that for my nighttime routine, I can just like plop them on because I like the way that it smells in my room when I do that. And I do the I do some chores usually in like the kitchen. Like that's when I like to tidy up a little bit or to like reset my space. Then eventually I kick Douglas off of my bed,
Oh, so
and
cruel.
I know, and I make my bed cuz I personally like doing it, and by this time Douglas is very upset that I have disturbed his rest. Sometimes I like dry brushing because it feels good. Once again, this is an ancient practice from a lot of different people did dry brushing, like it's an Ayurvedic thing as well, and but primarily attributed to ancient Egyptians, which I think is cool. And finally, once I've wrapped all this up, this only takes me like 15 minutes, usually 15, 20 minutes. I wrapped all this up. I've opened my blinds. I'm like ready for the day. Douglas and I go on our long walk. So typically, our mornings have turned into, now that it's getting warmer, our long walk moments. And this is arguably my favorite time of the day if he's behaving, because it's the most peaceful thing ever to like watch the world wake up. I think it's just a really cool thing. Like seeing other sleepy people with like coffees in hand and walking their animals brings me so much joy. And there's something about like a dawn moment. I don't walk when it's dark. I walk when it's light, but it's not all the way light. And I just feel like seeing the glow of like lights inside of people's houses always brings me a lot of joy. Like I
It makes
like
me
that
feel like
feeling.
warm inside.
Yeah.
Like,
I like that feeling in the evening too when I can smell
Yeah.
people making dinner, but it just feels like a quiet moment where we're all just quiet. Like I just really like it. And we walk, and I have kind of made a pact with myself that in the morning I try not to listen to anything, which is really hard for me to do because I just like listening to books or podcasts or sometimes music, but mostly books or podcasts. But I've been noticing recently that like my my days have been so hectic that any sort of extra noise in my ears has made me like so overstimulated within a couple minutes, and then I tune it out so I'm not listening anyway.
Mhm.
But for some reason it's still hard for me to commit to like an hour walk without listening to anything.
Oh yeah.
So that is kind of a snapshot of what I'm currently doing and the things that are currently bringing me joy and what I have started to wake up earlier to make sure that I can get in. Only during really the weekdays. The weekends are kind of a free for all, but I think it helps me like I don't know, have time for myself for sure.
That sounds really nice.
Yeah.
I selfishly like when you wake up earlier so I can see Sleepy Douglas.
Yeah. Since I started waking up earlier, Laura you can sometimes come in and say good morning to Douglas. Yeah, he's the cutest at like 5:15 in the morning.
Yeah. Prime time.
Yeah. His wake up time is 7 a.m. for anyone
And not
for
a
anyone
minute
interested.
sooner.
No. He's a 9:30 to bed, 7 a.m. wake up
Wow,
kind
that's
of
a lot
guy.
of sleep.
Oh yeah. Um
And
so
then
yeah.
you come home from your walk and make breakfast and get started, or what does that look like?
Well, it depends. So sometimes if I wake up early, on days that I have both of my jobs, I'll do
Mhm.
my morning routine from like 5:30 to 6 or so, and then I'll work from 6 to 7, and then I'll take Douglas on a walk at 7,
Okay.
and then I come back and work the rest of the day,
Yeah.
whether I go to babysitting or I stay here or whatever it is. Um, so I prefer the days that I don't have to start working at 6 a.m. because that's not the most fun. It's like always really jarring from, as you know, probably Laura and Mel, like when you just look at your screen so early before your eyes are ready and you're just like, no. Um, So I prefer the days, usually Mondays and Wednesdays. I don't have both jobs. So I can have like a slower morning or I can work out at that time or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
which is fun for me. Things that I want to start incorporating to my morning routine that I haven't because they're kind of hard for me. Moisturizing my body is number one.
Mm.
I think putting lotion on your body has always been really hard for me and something that I really want to start doing more because it kind of forces you to engage with your body in a really intimate and tender
Mhm.
way.
Yeah.
And I've always been like as fast as we can, let's get it on and like put clothes on because I'm uncomfortable with being with my body like that for some reason. It's getting better, but I think that's probably one of the next things that I'd like to incorporate because I think your body could use some love before it works for you all day,
Mhm.
Yeah.
especially if I have time.
I was just talking to my mom about this because I'm a big lotion gal. And I feel like part of the reason why I always do it is I grew up watching my mom like literally moisturizing 24/7, like full body, always feeling moisturized, always doing that. And it's so like it is just like a moment of like you're loving your physical body and like touching all
Mhm.
of it. And like I think that's so important. And I don't know. One, I think that you need to get a better lotion because yours is broken and that's a huge barrier to entry.
I've never found a lotion I love. I think that's number one.
Yeah, you gotta
Mm.
find that.
Yeah. Yeah. I also don't like it when it's cold, like putting cold lotion on my body.
Mm-mm.
And I have a lot of sensory things with putting clothes on my body when the
Yeah,
lotion's not all the way
totally.
dry.
Yeah. Do you have sensory things with your hands and like lotion or oil?
No,
Okay.
it's only when clothes stick
Yeah. Okay.
to it's the same thing if like I'm still wet from the shower. I don't like putting on clothes like that.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah. But something that actually I do that is really easy for me is I like using baby oil for
That's good.
a lotion substitute. I don't know if that's good or bad for your skin, so
No, it's definitely good.
hope so. But yeah, basically that's my presentation.
Well, Laura, what's your morning routine?
Well, I would start by waking up with a blaring alarm. There's no beautiful sunlight because honestly, I'm so paranoid about not waking up that I think that my alarm is a little bit almost too loud.
You're also a
'Cause
deep sleeper.
I'm a deep sleeper and sometimes I put in earplugs when like I can hear my roommates when I'm going to sleep. So I'll sometimes put in earplugs and yeah, I'm paranoid about sleeping too late. So I wake up, my alarm on work days I think is 5:10. And then I have it pretty much down to a science that like everything gets done and I'm out the door by like 5:28 at the latest.
Oh my God.
Um
So what do you do in that 18 minutes?
Let me think. First thing I do, get up, go into the bathroom, go pee, brush my teeth. And then while I'm brushing my teeth, I'll usually go into the kitchen and like get out my like food stuff that I need for the day so that I remember to take it. And then I get in my room and I do my moisturizer, SPF, and then I put on my work clothes. And then I say hi to Douglas if he's awake, but usually I just say hi to Birdie if she's up here, and then I'm out the
Keyword
door.
say hi to Douglas. She did not say hi to me.
Yeah, no, I don't say a word to McKenna. I say McKenna, move over. Let me see your puppy.
I say in the morning I know better than to talk. Even though I'm ready to talk. I'm
I'm
ready to
not
talk in the morning.
ready.
I see Laura, I say, good morning. And then she'll go,
No,
good morning, Douglas.
because like you know, I just like he's so
It's too much. I get it.
and he's
I respect that because I feel that way in other times of the day.
At
yeah.
night.
Mhm. Yeah.
Everyone is too much for me at night.
Yeah, and then I drive to work.
Like us right now, Mal, huh?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mel.
No, this is it's just it's been a long day, but yeah.
We
But
got
yeah.
it. We'll wrap up.
No, I'm
Then I
good.
just drive to work and I start working. But honestly, like as the summer months come in, the sun is more and more getting awake as I'm driving to work. It's not just pitch black, which like in the winter time when you're just driving to work and it's pitch black, I'm just like, I need to go to sleep again right now. But as the sun comes up and like honestly, that feeling of like walking out onto our street and it's just so quiet
Yeah.
Mhm.
and like, yeah, it's great.
I think that's another good point though, is my wake up time has, as the seasons shift, has gotten earlier. You know, like in the
'Cause of
winter,
the
I was not.
sun.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think it's, if you have the freedom to like adjust with the weather, I think that's the seasons. I think that's a cool thing to be able to be like in tune with, because you're not
Oh,
forcing
yeah.
your body, like, you know, if you have a job like you, Laura, you have to. But like for me, my job is slow in the winter months, so I slept more.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hibernate.
And I didn't walk Douglas till later in the morning because it was
'Cause
so
it's
cold.
freezing cold.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you,
Mel?
Mel?
Right now on Tuesday and Thursday mornings, Ryan and I get up at 5:30 and go climbing with Meredith at the climbing gym. So yeah, we just make tea and coffee. Like I make tea, Ryan makes coffee, and then either Meredith picks us up or we pick her up. But then on Monday and Wednesday mornings, I usually get up at like 6:45 and make some tea and then set up my mat and do Cara Duvall's live Pilates class at 7:15, which is such a great start to my day because she has like the most idyllic mornings because she sometimes teaches class out on her porch and you can hear
Her
like, the
morning routine would
wind.
be heavenly.
Yeah. Anyway, it's very calming to like experience her in the morning. Like
Mhm.
unlike like Love Laura Hyman, Love Lit Yoga, not relaxing to
Yeah.
take in the morning.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's really, really nice. And also it's nice to take like Cara Duvall's classes knowing she's also taking them at 7:15 a.m. So it's like she's never like burpees, you know, it's always
Yeah.
like, let's just feel how our body feels right now. So yeah, I do that from 7:15 to 8, and then usually like make a smoothie and then I go to work. Yeah. And then on my rock climbing days, I get back and shower and then I make a smoothie and then I go to work.
Nice.
So, but I guess like, yeah, I get out of bed and then I take my retainer out and take my anxiety medication. That's my like
Oh yeah, the habit.
Tea.
my habit every day. Yeah.
Mhm.
But then every day I have tea. Those are like my go-tos.
What's your go-to tea right now?
Oh, well, I switch between Paris by Harney and Sons or the what's it called? It's just called London Fog, I think, from Harney and Sons. Yeah, I switch off between.
Are they
those.
both black teas?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I put a little bit of oat milk and I have my little frother and I froth the oat milk and I pour my tea in.
Delicious.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I feel like my night routine's actually better because every single night I read, well, not tonight, but most every single night I read for at least 10 minutes before bed. And I have noticed I sleep 7 million times better if I read
I have
before
noticed that
bed.
as well.
Like truly, I will fall asleep in a blink of the eye if I read. If I'm on my phone or watching TV and then I go straight into bed, like it takes me like a half hour to fall asleep.
Yeah.
I don't fall asleep differently, but I always crash so fast, but I am such a light sleeper that I will wake up way more times if I haven't read before bed.
Yeah. It's like clockwork.
But
for
I
me.
don't like feeling like I have to, you know, when you read the same page 3 times and you're like, okay, I have to go to bed.
Yeah.
I don't like that feeling. It makes me sad.
I can only read fiction at night. I
Yeah.
can't read nonfiction.
Oh my God, yeah.
Could you imagine?
Nonfiction at night. God forbid. All right. Anything else, Ken?
No, that was all.
Can I
feel
make
like
a
this is-
request?
Yeah.
Can you make a video about this?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about that, but it's like not aesthetic. Like I have the
Yeah, it is.
aesthetic morning you could ask for.
You do not have to make like the most gorgeous coffee morning routine shit for it to be aesthetic to me. It's like
I agree.
anything, any kind of routine like that. It's so soothing to watch.
Is Douglas in it? It's aesthetic.
Yeah, Douglas
It's
is-
aesthetic.
Well, Douglas is in it, and
It's
when
too
he's
late.
when he's sleeping in a little ball.
babe.
He's
Sorry,
so
some people
cute.
probably don't like baby talk.
I think my dad probably
This
hates
episode
it.
is full of it.
He's
Sorry,
really
Dad.
cute though in the morning.
He's really cute. I say hi, Douglas.
It's
Good
the
morning.
It's the only time I feel like I have no anxiety about him.
Yes, which is
Causing
so
trouble.
huge for you as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Although he's recently been waking up a little bit earlier and trying to like explore, and I've had to usher him back to bed.
Mm,
So
amazing.
that's all. I hope that was interesting.
That was interesting.
It
I
was
feel like I
super
need to go
interesting.
reflect on my morning routine.
I definitely need.
I may need
Well-
to call you about gua sha.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's so many things that I feel like I could plug into to my morning that I eventually would, but I like my little tasks.
Yeah, we're all works in progress.
I think that's so
Yeah.
important for you, especially as someone who works so much of your job from your bedroom. Like
Yeah.
you need a break up, some barrier between
Mhm.
one state and the next. I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Yeah. Otherwise, it gets kind of scary in my head.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Well, that's all I have. Mal, go to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, I love
Good
you
night, Mel.
guys.
I love
Love
you. You're
you.
beautiful.
Okay.
Inside and
bye.
out.